convincing you to read these books based on the most insane things that happen in them. God of Fury starts with Nikolai, who sends Brandon an invitation to their club initiation and threatens to harm his twin brother if he doesn't show up. Nikolai immediately becomes obsessed with him and starts stalking him like a persistent golden retriever. He's so freaking funny because no matter how hard Brandon tries to push him away, he just tries even harder to be with him. Nikolai is literally the funniest character I've ever read in a book. He can't sleep in a bed, so he sleeps anywhere, on the stairs, on random spots on the floor, anywhere. Little Stranger, it's about foster siblings who fall in love with each other. One of them is absolutely unhinged and a sociopath, and the other is way too traumatized to be likable. This book is full of triggers. He literally pushes their dad down the stairs after he catches them together and does you know what on top of him before going to prison. He's incredibly obsessed to the point where it's extremely unhealthy because he will literally do anything to keep her. Their mom is also the villain in the book because she keeps doing really messed up things to find her husband. Malachi will do anything in his power to prevent that from happening, but of course he can stop everything, especially since Olivia is always chasing her approval. Kill Switch. This book is so good and I don't even like Damon, but I can definitely understand why people love him so much. This is the third book in the series and I highly recommend reading them in order. This one is about Damon who marries Winter's sister just to stay close to her and get his revenge for being sent to jail. He doesn't love her sister, but he's with her just for the revenge against Winter. He deserved it, but it was still a betrayal that bothered him. He's absolutely insane, and in the previous books he tries to unalive his best friend. He does get a slight redemption arc, though I don't think he deserves it. The book is amazing, with so much happening. His dad is completely unhinged too, and Damon is also a victim of his mom, who he eventually unalives. Lights out. Josh is the perfect book boyfriend and the sweetest golden retriever type. Alice sends a text to her ex hookup asking if he's down for masked roleplay and attaches an example of a masked man. He's immediately appalled and refuses, cutting ties with her because he's seeing someone else anyway. He shows the messages to Josh or MMC and his roommate. Josh realizes the picture is of him and immediately starts stalking her. Eventually, he breaks into her house while she's at her night shift at the hospital. He films thirst traps in her room and posts them for her to see. She of course watches them, not realizing they were filmed in her own house until she gets home and sees the mask he left on her bed. She starts panicking and pulls out the gun, all while he's been watching everything the entire time through a hidden camera he installed in her room. God of Malice, the chaos in this one starts in the first two chapters, literally so much going on. She's at the cliff where her friend died, contemplating life and dealing with the loss. When she almost falls, Killian, who was taking pictures of her and wanting to photograph her fall, catches her and tells her she has two options: do anything he wants her to do, or he lets her fall. She obviously says she will do anything, and he takes that in the direction that leaves her shaken afterwards. She later finds out that he attends the university next to hers and is part of the rival club to her brothers. He eventually starts stalking her because he's a psychopath with a strange obsession with her, and he's just trying to figure out why. Butcher and Blackbird, they are two serial deleters who end other serial deleters. The first time they meet, she is locked in a cage with a decaying body for the past 3 days. He arrives already flirting with her while she is miserable in that cage and refuses to help her out unless she tells him her serial deleter nickname. She eventually tells him and he finds out she's his idol. He takes her out to eat ribs at a restaurant, and when he realizes she wants to leave, he proposes a game of unaliving people, where they meet every year to find a serial deleter, and whoever ends them first wins. And of course, she accepts. They go through so many insane situations through this game. They get to flirt and be sweet and do things they both love to death. They save each other, and along the way, they encounter a cannibal with a taste for human arse and a very specific ice cream ingredient, along with so much more. Haunting Adeline. Yeah, I know we all know this book and how controversial it is, but we don't really talk about the actual plot itself. The book is about a man who falls in love at first sight, but not in the innocent, sweet way. He becomes obsessed to the point where he stalks her and goes to unimaginable lengths to make her his. She was also always drawn to fear in a way she struggles to understand, and having a stalker triggers something in her that she both resents and can fully ignore because she can't pretend to be normal like everyone else anymore. He does extreme things and crosses many boundaries, but in his mind, that is his form of love, and she comes to actually accept it. Madness. This book has a lot of BDSM in it, and probably the darkest, most toxic relationship I've ever read about. But it really works, and it doesn't feel repetitive or overdone. It's super unique, and I honestly can't even explain what happens in it because it's that dark. Thanks for listening to my rambling. If you made it this far, you're either unhinged or really patient. Either way, see you in the next one.